Standard error. According to central limit theorem, the mean of the sample means is equal to population mean, or mean of the means is mean. The other interesting point was the standard deviation of sample means can be estimated by sigma x bar, which is equal to standard deviation divided by square root of n, where n is the sample size. This thing is often called as standard error of the mean. And now our equation for z also modifies. So we have x bar here, which is the sample mean, and we are calculating its distance from the population mean. And now, rather than moving in terms of standard deviations, we will move with the standard errors. So in the equation here, previously we have standard deviation, but now we will have standard error. Standard error is given by sigma standard deviation divided by square root of n. How we got this standard deviation? Recall your concepts. So initially we wanted to calculate the average of deviations, how each observation deviates from the mean within a sample. But since we were unable to get the sum of those deviations because sum of the deviation becomes 0. So we ended up with this thing called as variance. What was that? Average of squared deviations. If you look into its equation, here is your deviations from the mean. So yi can be any observation. So for each observations, we calculate their we calculate their deviations from their mean. And since we get the sum of those deviations equal to 0, so we need to square them. So that's why we got those square deviations. And we sum them up and finally we get the sum of those square deviations. We divide it by sample size n, and the thing which we get is the variance, sigma square. So that is the average of square deviations. And then for samples, we will take those sum of square deviations and we divide it by n minus 1, which is degrees of freedom. Population variance, since population is a parameter, is given by those Greek letters, so sigma is used, and for sample variance we use English letter S. Sigma square, S square. Since this is the average of square deviations and it's a squared thing, we calculate its square root, and then the resultant thing which we get from this is standard deviation. Sigma for population and S for samples. How it is used and where it is used? It's more oftenly called as standard error of the mean. And it is presented wherever you present the mean. So y bar plus minus SC. So whenever we get the plots like this where means are plotted from some specific samples, we also plot the standard error. For example, we have this class weight data where girls and boys, their weights are shown separately. Girls have a mean of 40 with a standard deviation of 5. Boys have a mean of 50 with a standard deviation of 10. How would you present them in a graph? So you present the mean with those bars. It's a bar chart. And then you put those standard errors in the shape of these antennas. So this lower part of the antenna goes from 35. So it is 40 minus 5 standard deviation. So that's the lower limit. So that is 35. And then if you add 5 to this 40, it becomes 45. So that is the upper part of this antenna. Same way for boys, the mean was 50 minus 10, it goes to 40 here, and plus 10, it goes to 60 here. When to use sigma and when to use sigma x bar for Z. If you have an observation and you want to calculate its z-score or standard score or its distance from its mean, you would put standard deviation here. Whenever you have x bar here, and this we do in hypothesis testing, so over there you will have this standard error.